Phoenix Wright in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We gotta talk about this leak. It's pretty well done. Is it real? Let's do it. Block content. What's happening, my Block buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content's Leak Speak. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today, and it's going to be something because we're actually going to be talking about something big that just happened. There's a leak that talks about Phoenix Wright being in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as well as other characters, and they have renders and everything and images, and I want to talk about everything, analyze it, see if it's real, see if it's clearly fake, or see if it's, somewhere in between there, and there's a lot to talk about here, and it's even got a post with a lot more information aside from it and other characters, so lots to talk about. And also, of course, we've been doing these awesome question blocked episodes with you guys. It's been so much fun, so I answer your questions. What do I think of your favorite game? How do you start making YouTube videos? Well, whatever you can think of, send your questions through to blockedcontentmail@gmail.com, and I will answer your question live on the show in one of our next question blocked episodes. And here's a brand new giveaway. You can win one of these Super Mario surprise capsules. Any Mario item, Yoshi character could be inside. I leave them closed so you can find out what's in them when you win. Giving away 4 of these, so remember to like this video and subscribe to Blocked Content. Alright guys, let's get into the main topic of today. And actually, this came to me from 2 different types of sources. One actually sent this to me way before this actually went up online. So I've been in possession of this screenshot for a little bit longer, I would say less than an hour longer than the post actually went up. So I got to theorizing immediately, and of course looking online to see if this is posted anywhere else. And then I got an email saying, hey, before anything, I'd like to stay anonymous just in case. Okay, so I saw this leak by someone under the name Red Falcon or something like that, and I thought I should send it to you to cover it. I didn't save the link, but I saved the image and remembered saying that Phoenix's stage was the courtroom, and he would have 3 song remixes plus some straight from the Ace Attorney series. And then of course, also linking me the screenshots, which, didn't include a direct screenshot from that thread, but I was actually able to find that too, so it actually got online as well, right after I had obtained the image through this anonymous source as well. So thank you so much, and of course Red Falcon posts this, so I first want to go through what the information here is, and of course you can already see the screenshot right here. So a lot of interesting stuff, and not just the simple fact that we have a screenshot, but a lot more information aside from that screenshot as well. So let's dive into what it actually says. Smash Ultimate 2 leaked fighters, and of course the screenshot with Phoenix right there. 2 out of the 6 fighters in Volume 2 have been leaked by my source, which I won't mention of course, just so he doesn't get in trouble. These 2 fighters are Phoenix Wright and 2B from Nier Automata. My source also mentions that Phoenix will be having an alternate that seems to be based around his homeless design. His stage is going to be the courtroom, and he'll be having roughly the same amount of music tracks as Joker's, with 3 remixes. As for 2B, not much is really known. All that is done is her render, and she will most probably get 2 music tracks. As for me costumes, not much was told by my source about this. The only thing he has heard so far is that Geno and Hollow Knight are me costumes. The direct will be on March 5th. See you then. So Red Falcon 0 posts this, and I think it's immediately very interesting for a lot of different reasons, and I'm going to be zooming in on all of them. But first and foremost, 2 characters, one of which we even have an in-game screenshot of, which is totally crazy, and of course, portraits for the 2 characters. So 2 out of the 6 fighters have been leaked, and that, if this is real, let's live in this hypothetical world where this is real, because I have a lot of thoughts to say about the idea that it might not be real, and I actually have some real life evidence why some of this can't actually be adding up, so I'll talk about that too. But what here is interesting to me, and if this is real, it kind of makes sense for 2 fighters to be leaked. And why is that? Well, I think with the next Nintendo Direct, or something Smash focused, we are most definitely getting not 1 but 2 characters. I think it just makes too much sense to leave people hanging, to leave people waiting, and we've actually done that in a couple of different Nintendo Directs as well. Think about the stuff like Simon and Richter, and other, examples within the Smash universe that have just happened with Banjo and Kazooie and the hero, where it's 2 characters announced so you know what's going to happen in the future. I think that it makes just as much sense to do it with the second Fighter's Pass because there has been some backlash due to Byleth, right? And I think that they really want to patch it up, and the only thing you do that is to spread your chances. Yes, these would be, potentially 2 other humanoid anime kind of characters, right, with their designs, so this would be a little bit different for people to kind of adjust to, because it really doesn't seem like they want to put a lot more effort into these more mascot kind of characters that represents a company and that are, not these humanoid anime characters. That's very interesting to me already. So let's say that this is real and Phoenix Wright and 2B are the next characters. Well, there's a lot to talk about with Phoenix Wright because we already see the model, and I'm just going to break down what that model actually looks like because I think that it is a well done model. It's shopped in pretty interestingly. I wouldn't say this is extremely well done, and off the top I have to mention that I do not believe that this leak is legit. There's a lot of things that don't add up here, but the model actually isn't my main gripe with this. I do think it's actually quite well done. I think that the artwork that is on the lower bottom of the screen, the Phoenix Wright artwork, the render, is actually quite fun. It isn't up to par with some of the other Smash Brothers art, and especially if you look at faces of characters like Roy and Chrom and characters like Shulk or Snake, it doesn't really add up in terms of the quality and the shading there, but however, I do think it's quite well done. The screenshot doesn't exist online anywhere, and of course, they could have gotten a model from Phoenix Wright from the Marvel vs. Capcom games and actually slightly changed it, and of course done the lighting. And yeah, if we talk about lighting, it's very apparent that lighting-wise, this doesn't really fit with that image, right? Phoenix doesn't really feel like he belongs there, and one of my main gripes with this as well is, well, the shadows are well done. I think the rim lighting is a little bit too much, but especially the posing here feels very unnatural. I think that having your fist in your side is a very easy and cheap thing to do in a modeling program, but if Sakurai and the team were to be doing this, he would actually hold his hip right there with his fingers. That's the amount of detail that they go into with specific characters, and I think that there are some, examples here that make me feel like this is definitely fan-made. I think also the perspective and maybe a little bit of the color is off. If you look at the blues in the image, you can definitely see that the LCD monitor feeling of this image isn't really consistent with what Phoenix looks like here, as well as the shading on the character itself. And I don't mean lighting as a shader, I mean specifically the textures. If you look at his shirt, it's very apparent that it has some sort of white rim lighting around it that has been painted, so that is not an effect. And that is not Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's art style. So in that sense, I don't think it fits at all. And of course also that Nier Automata character 2B being in there. Also, yeah, that's of course a render that does not jive with anything that we've seen so far, but of course it's a very small image and it could have been seen before, and it doesn't really change my mind on the whole situation. But also the leak actually saying, yeah, and the only thing that we have done for this character is the render, just so, there's evidence here. Why didn't you include 2B in that frame? And why don't we see the full render there? Why is the screenshot just Phoenix Wright and Byleth, right? So it might be feeling a little bit like the leaker is covering their tracks and basically saying, yeah, well, we didn't have it finished, so we can't really show it, but yeah, definitely it's out there, but the game hasn't finished her model yet. I don't think you'll add a portrait for a character to a beta build if you don't even have a model ready or anything in the game. Then you just wouldn't put a portrait there, because then the character clearly isn't in a state where you've at all worked on the character, right? I think if anything, portraits are the thing that you do at the last possible second, because that is just when the character is finished, then you do all the HUD stuff, then you do all that sort of visual design stuff that comes with that, and not anywhere before that. That doesn't make any sense, because the render is of course based on the model, and of course touched up and made a little bit more beautiful and with different programs, but it goes the other way around, not the way that this leaker says that it does. As for Mii costumes, not much has been told by the source, but Geno and Hollow Knight are Mii costumes, and I can actually believe this if we look at the trend that other Mii costumes have been going, and that there is actually a new tier of Mii costumes that comes with music and is actually a little bit more lively and looks like the character and not just a Mii character. I think that this makes a lot of sense to do. Yes, RIP for the Geno fans if this is true, but I don't really think it is. I think Geno might actually be a part of the Fighters Pass myself. I actually think that that has a very big possibility because I just think that we've waited for long enough, and if Geno was a Mii costume character, Geno would have been in there already. Well, maybe if Geno isn't, a big new Mii costume, then everything would be different. And Hollow Knight makes just as much sense to me. But yeah, I can safely say with 2B, and this is the part where, I get a little bit too real here. I know from a very reliable source that 2B in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has not been worked on. Yes, I know this. I can definitely cross this off a list and say this is not happening. So from that alone, my source may be not telling the truth, or different sources that I have might not be telling the truth, but this is most definitely not in the cards at the moment. So this leak, from my perspective at least, isn't true just based on that. However, I do like Phoenix Wright's artwork. I think him holding the paper and doing the pose is awesome. I think that the screenshot pretty much adds up, and I think it's fun to speculate and talk about. And of course, I would love Phoenix Wright to be in Smash Bros. He's not top of my list, but there's a lot of cool stuff that I hope Sakurai will be doing with the character. And 2B actually has a lot of promise for Smash Bros. 2. I've had a lot of talks about this character specifically in my personal life this past month, and I just want to tell you guys that if it's going to happen, then it's going to happen later down the line. It is not something that I believe it's being worked on, and that's just pretty much all I say about that. But yes, I'm really curious if you guys have any thoughts on those two characters, and especially this leak and the legitimacy of it. So love to hear what you guys think of this. If you comment down below, that comment could actually be featured, read out loud in our next video. And today's comment question is, do you believe the Phoenix Wright leak? As for our previous comment question winner, our answer comes to us from our glorious user, Superspeed Productions, talking about Sonic characters in Smash. I'm guessing that if anything Sonic related that is somewhat a fighter coming to Smash, then it's movie Sonic as an echo. I mean, come on, the movie made a lot of money and made Sonic talked about more in the general public. Plus, it drove a lot of new fans and audience to the Sonic franchise. So if Shadow is stuck as an assist trophy or spirit, then it's a no-brainer for movie Sonic to join. Sure, he has some different moves, but it can be like Dark Samus, where it has the same general move set, but with some new moves in there. For example, the opening animation when the stage loads could be Sonic hopping out of the ring. Also, he can use some electric-related moves since Sonic in the film, when he charged, just glows with electricity. Speaking of supercharged Sonic, that could be his final smash, where he starts glowing with electricity and proceeds to bounce all around the stage, knocking other fighters off and causing damage. Well, Superspeed Productions, thank you so much. I think it's so cool that you love this movie Sonic 2. I absolutely love the movie. I've already seen it 3 times, and I'm just crazy about it. There's a lot of Sonic stuff that's gonna happen in this channel. There's a lot that I have to talk about because, yes, I actually went to the studio, and there's a lot more information for me from there. But I think that if we are talking about movie Sonic in the game, that is going to be the craziest crossover, because there's already Smash crossover in the movie, right? Some poses that Sonic does actually happen to be from Smash Brothers, but then I would like Detective Pikachu in there, and maybe the movie Mario in there that, Illumination right now is working on. So maybe we could have a movie game crossover. That'd be totally crazy. So thank you so much for your comment, and of course, a big shout out to our latest Patreon supporters and the super chats during our live streams. You make blocked content possible. So if you want to have yourself created in pixel art, or join us for discussions, or even have your own ideas become animations, go to patreon.com/blockedcontent, because there's a bunch of incredible rewards there, and they're waiting just for you. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Blocked Content family yet, hit subscribe now, smash that like button, and ring the bell for notifications, and all the news and fun that you care about will be delivered on the daily to you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner where there's always more Blocked Content. See ya!